Aye, so this, I'm just going to have a wee look, back at the other night's live show, which, by the way, I thought there was a lot of very interesting things there, um, and it was good to see some of that stuff coming out. But I'll get into that in a wee minute. But I want to talk about this whole thing of what has flat Earth become. And really, there's a comment here from a YouTuber, Rory McFizz. And I'll use that one because this is the kind of stuff that gets to me, annoys me a wee bit. And I'll read some of the other comments out here and talk a wee bit more about what happened the other night. As I say, for me it was all good. As I say, for me, the best thing is to meet things head on, offer people that opportunity to meet things head on rather than scurrying about in the undergrowth like some people here who want to put their two pence worth in, but still sit in the comments and so this first comment here is Rory McFizz. Let me get this right, and I did watch live. Grown up people need to be shown or pointing out how to interact at a mature level with each other. If this is a level that a lot of people seem to be at, then I am at a loss and confused. My children can interact at a higher level than a lot of these school playground mentality people, and to think they need a platform to learn how to be civil gives me dread. Again, I hear what you are saying, but just imagine if the energy was not directed on bickering and ego. Maybe, just maybe, forward it may go. But at the moment, flat earth going big is not going to happen. Drama is for TV addicts. Love, peace and happy hug my name, my friend. Right. So I get, Rory's apparent concerns here. And it's the same for me, and it always has been the same for me, and this is what annoys me about like Rory McFizz. And it's no offence, Rory, right? But you've known me long enough, you know fine well that since the very beginning, I'm the one who's been saying to people, ignore the fucking drama. Anybody pushing any drama, that's where an issue is for me, when it's a continual drama. But at the same time, we have real people who are at varying levels of awareness and understanding, who are emotionally reacting. They get involved in bickering and all these types of things. Now, for me, it's a matter of trying to understand why these things happen, rather than just act like I'm a fucking guru, and everybody's all wise and all knowing, because that's not the fucking reality, right? The reality is that we live in a world where people believe they live in a fucking globe, right? So, all this, mature adults and speak, people are fucking stupid. They believe they live in a fucking globe, right? They've been taken in left, right, and fucking centre, hook, line, and sinker. Okay, so people aren't fucking intelligent, right? And people are people. So for me, it's a matter of understanding how the communication breaks down with people and why they get involved in these things. And by drawing it out and calling it out head on, you get to see, who's the genuine people, who wants truth, who wants to progress, right? And we've got the other side who linger in the backdrop and keep continuing the same game because they don't want to be exposed when it's confronted to them, right? So that's what I done, right? Now, for me, it's not going to be forever. It's just meeting it head on and showing it up for what it is, as we seen the other night. And we'll get to that in a wee minute. So this thing that Rory's saying here, grown up people need to be shown or pointing out how to interact at a mature level. Aye, they fucking do, right? There's people who don't, because there's people who have worked through it, but we're surrounded by masses of people who are still under, cultural programming, all various types of manipulation. They're operating in different levels. So, what's the other alternative? Rory, I'll ask you, what do we do? Just ignore it all and think, it's all going to go away. Turn the other cheek and just ignore it, it'll all go away. Nah, that's not me. I like to meet it fucking head on, right? And try and understand what's actually happening. That's how we progress, right? In an ideal situation, I just want everybody to be at the same place as I am, right? But that's not the fucking reality. So what do? Sit on my pedestal and look down upon everybody and go, check you lot, this is how you behave perfectly. No, that's not how you fucking do it. Right? You get involved. Right? People like Rory want to sit in the backdrop and make cooking videos, that's fine. But don't come here, acting as if you're a fucking mature. Why did you not come on and fucking say your piece? Right? Guys like John, who I respect, that comes on the show, he's not got time for it. I don't have time for the bitching and the low level mind games. Right? But the fact of the matter is that it's still a part of us. We talk about, where is flat earth going, and oh, look what it's turned into. Let's just clear this up right now. People were already in this fucking frame and state of mind before the realisation of the globe lie or any flat earth stuff came to light, Look back at the last 30 years of my life and the fucking shite that I've witnessed, the illogical, irrational fucking nonsense that I've had to put up with, and in social arenas and family arenas, people are just the way they fucking are because of this fucking globe manipulation and all the religious manipulation that's been on before. Okay, so I'm not just going to ignore that and wait for some mystical energy to sort them all out. No, I'm involved, and I'm going to point it out and get involved in any aspect that I can. Right? So, again, this isn't what flat earth is turning into. This is just the state of minds that people are already in as they come into this realm of awakening. Right? They're no fucking special gurus who work it all out. You get people coming in that understand that the globe's a lie, that haven't really done any deep thought up to that point before that. They weren't involved in any truth stuff like me or anybody else. There's so many variants of mind and level that they're at, and as I say, for me from the very beginning, and this does annoy me about guys like Rory, because Rory knows fine well who I am, right? Do you think all of a sudden I'm going to throw it all out the window and turn into this illogical, whoa, it's just a drama all the time? No, that's not who I am. But that's the way this kind of message comes across, as if that's what you're trying to insinuate. So, as I say, why do you not come on the show or the hangout thing and fucking say these things rather than waiting till the end and then putting it in your wee fucking sneaky comments? Right? Just imagine if the energy was not directed on bickering and ego. Right? Exactly. The same thing as I've always said, but unfortunately, Rory and anybody else who's fucking listening, people are at that level. They were already there before they become aware of the fucking globe lie. If you doubt it, go and have a retrace of the fucking last 40, 50 years of your fucking life. So, my purpose, my point is, I'm in this and I'm watching all this happening in this wee camp and this wee camp, and oh, and they see what they see and they see what they see in their camp. But I'm not like that. People are doing these things and I see it happening. I'll just bring it straight to the forefront. There you go. There's a fucking platform. Let's see the illogical, irrational fucking dispute that you have with each other, right? And once that happens, and people realise and they take responsibility for their own fucking shit, it defuses instantly, as we witnessed the other night. Right? So, if that wasn't there, if I wasn't pushing for that, what would happen? You'd continue to have Vancouver BC sniping and bitching with Jed, who, by the way, has now deleted that hangout, which tells you a hell of a fucking lot. Right? So, if you don't confront it, it continues to be allowed to happen. Right? So, I don't know if guys like Rory would just prefer that, we form this wee clique and just let all this fucking stuff go and run about us. Right? That's not going to help anything. As I say, my whole thing has been about understanding, our own emotional state, the things that trigger us, why we get involved in them, how we're manipulated, how we're affected by different things, right? So, and as I say, unfortunately, I'm at that point where I just want people to get it, right, fine, they realise the logical steps that we need to take in order to find out where we are, right? But that's not reality, and I have to face up to reality, and look at the actual people who are run about me, and the levels that they're at, right? Maybe, just maybe, forward it may go, but at the moment, flat earth going big is not going to happen. No, it's not going to happen, right? Because there are so many variants to sort out. From the very beginning, if people had paid attention to what I was saying, which is the fucking truth, don't adopt a model. Face up to the lie that's being told and confront it, you know, unmercilessly. Confront the fucking lie and make sure people know that that's the lie without making any fucking claims. Then it would have moved a lot fucking quicker, right? But all the players who are involved perpetuated this fucking nonsense of maps and models and all this fucking unnecessary stuff. So, you know, it pisses me off when people take this stance that think, you know, oh, you're getting involved in the drama. You know, whether you like it or not, people are fucking people, right? They are drama. They are egotistical, okay? You know, and in my experience, the only way to confront liars, you know, or to catch them out is to face them up. That always, for me, gets to the root of any fucking problem. Running away from it, and letting things eat you up and your own paranoia and letting them run about in their wee circle, it never fucking solves anything. It just perpetuates the same fucking crap. There's never any progress. Okay? As I explained to John, you know, John has his concerns, and he would just rather that wasn't happening, especially on my channel. But, you know, as I says to John, it just feels to me as if it has to be done. You know, it's part of my process, part of my journey is highlighting these things that are happening, like irrational thoughts and attacks on people because people have preconceived ideas about each other, and people emotionally react to something that they think, you know, somebody else means. You know, there's all these complex issues going on with people, and I say again, they have to be confronted. We can't keep ignoring them, or we're never going to progress. You know, ignoring and turning the other cheek has got us in this fucking mess that we're in just now, right? The globe cult lie. That's why everybody's running around with their head up their fucking ass. So, you know, and again, I appreciate Rory, you know, or Brendan, whatever your name is, you know, you have your right as well, but at the same time, you know, think a wee bit more about it. You know, I get where you're coming from. Of course I get where you're coming from. That's who I am. You know, you're talking here as if, you know, you're overtaking me or you're something that, you know that's been my message from the beginning. So, and for me it was a positive, you know, whatever people want to think about it. Really, you know, all the intensement, you know, all this, the drama, and even watching the behaviours of people as they first came in and being defensive and, you know, you get to see these instinctual, emotional reactions for people, but then you see it when they persist, you know, because that tells me that people really do want to try and figure it out, and you know, and we had some sort of breakthrough, you know, where Nathan admitted, you know, he's got demons and he behaves in certain ways, the same as me. You know, I'm no fucking perfect in my life, and still sometimes I'll emotionally react, and you know, and especially with trolls, and I've done it on Facebook, you know, just to show them their abuse didn't work on me. You know, I can give them that abuse back tenfold, and it's never going to bother me. So I totally get where Nathan was coming from, and at the same time, I can get where, you know, Sean was coming from by certain things that you say can affect different people who are at different levels in their life and their mind and their experience. So, you know, we have a certain responsibility for how we behave, you know, and act, especially if it's affecting other people. I don't want to be affecting other people in a negative way. You know, I hate to think that, you know, somebody's away with, you know, hurt emotions or some sort of, you know, harbouring negativity or angst towards me because of something that I've done or said, you know, which is probably a misunderstanding in their point, but, you know, I still have to be aware that, you know, that's how people are reacting. You know, we're not living in an ideal situation here. It's no heaven and perfection. There's so many variants of mind and personality going on here, you know, and for me, I want to understand that. I want to get to the bottom of it. I know who I am. I know I don't need any drama or to bother with any of these things. I know the globe lie, okay? I know the logical steps that we need to take. I know the truth of the real position that we are in. And I've stated it over and over and over and over from nearly 2 years ago, right? That's not going to change. I had you know, an annoyance, you know, what's the word? a disdain for, you know, these dramas, blah, blah, blah. And back at the beginning, I'd just be like, oh, fuck off your drama, fuck off your drama. They're just drama queens, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, or fortunately, I've got the ability to actually look further and realise and go, look, do you know what? You know, just because people get these things doesn't mean to say that they're fucking, you know, they're there, that they're conducting themselves and holding themselves appropriately. I had to realistically look at it and go, look, you know, not everybody's a fucking shill or an agent. You know, there is just people here who are just people. You know, their emotional level, their mental level is all stemming from their cultural programming. You know, the globe being pushed to them in school, all the fucking nonsense. Everybody knows the nonsense, right? All the lies. So, as I say, there is no magical switch for me. I can only sift through and keep pushing through with how I see it happening, right? And people are entitled to look at that whatever way they see fit. But when I see things like this, you know, I've got the right to confront it and express how I feel about it and how I'm seeing it, what my motives are, you know, why I'm doing stuff. So, you know, what else is there to do? You know? If realistically for me, if you want, you know, critical thinking people and a level of critical thinking people, there's no magical flip switch for that. You know, I can only set my stall out and be me, be my example, you know, and push the truth and hope that people come to that. You know, and until then, I can only walk through what I'm seeing happening in front of me. It's very simple. Um, oh, and under Rory's comment, and by the way, you know, Rory, Brendan, this isn't an attack, you know. Again, you know, passion, it's no anger or aggression. You know, you're free to come on, you know, and express how you see it, what bothers you as well. You know, I prefer that. Obviously, I've got a respect for what you have to say. You've been involved in this thing. This is why I'm addressing what you're saying. But I would much prefer it if you came on and said it, you know, face to face, you know, and had a discussion about it. So, when you're even saying it, I hear what you're saying. Right, so what's your alternative? Let's hear your alternative. Right, as I say, it's over for me. Right, every fucking argument and proof that they try and put for the Globe is destroyed. It's fucking childish nonsense. So for me, there's nothing else to do. Now it's about understanding people, the manipulation, how we got here, how we get out of it. You know, how we resolve these issues rather than just fucking ignoring them. You know, you can sweep things under the carpet all you like, but all you're going to do is build a pile up. You know? So, then Nathan Ottley responded there. Rory McFizz, well said indeed. However, I am not in the least bit surprised. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. You know, that's it. You know, that's where people are. That is the reality of the situation. So, as I say, for me, I don't want to ignore it. I'd rather delve into it and find out and understand what's actually happening. And when you call it out, as I said, you had all these people in the comments the other night still trying to keep the drama going. You know, they were called, they were offered it. Bring your proof. You know, explain what relevance it has to the subject. You know, and what your whole agenda is. And by their non-appearance, you know, they're no willing to come on. That tells you everything, right? They don't have anything, so it's just illogical fucking rambling. Okay. Now in the other turn, we've seen Nathan and Sean, who were willing to, you know, understand and sort out what it is. You know, as Sean said, his journey was his journey. He made videos, he done what he done, he moved on from it, and people are allowed to do that. You know, you can make mistakes and move on. It's the people who try and hold you to your past and hold you to your previous mistakes. They're the controllers. They're the manipulators, the people you should be wary of. Okay? You're allowed to grow, you're allowed to make mistakes, and you're allowed to learn. Right? This idea of being some sort of perfect fucking all-knowing being is ridiculous. That's part of the shite that they sold you. So, no, as I say, you hear this a lot, and that's the stuff I pointed out with so-called skeptics and all these other people who were getting involved before. Flat earth cult, look at this, look at piss drinking, look at these practices these flat earthers do. You know, piss drinking, all these behaviours, emotional levels, mental levels, they all existed 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. Right? Illogical, irrational people reacting on emotional impulses and getting involved in things that they don't have a fucking clue about. Right? It's a funny farm. It's a fucking mental institution when you look at it. Right? Because I've said it clearly before. People don't have an objective truth. They don't know where they are. They don't know who they are. They don't know what the whole game's about. So everything that they try and tell themselves is a delusion. It's a fucking distraction. That's the reality of the situation. Feel free to refute it if you like, but you better have fucking proof that you know the objective truth of this reality. Because if you don't, you're just another fucking rambling idiot. I can only base things on my experiences, my inner workings, my inner understanding, being realistic with myself. Then I can recognise it in other people and I can see what's going on with them. So, you know, for me it was all good. You know, and continuing to put the live things up and call things straight out. You know, if you get globe proof, if you get flat model proof, if you get concave proof, if you get proof of any of these accusations you're making against persons, and can you explain your logic and reasoning by attacking the persons and what it actually contributes to anything? You know, because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck who people are in their personal life. If they're criminals and imposing on, you know, innocent people, then that's an issue for the law, right? But if people are here and they're, you know, highlighting the globe lie, flaws with the globe, offering proofs, anything constructive, then for me that's good, right? But what I see is so much ad hominem, people focusing on the personality, you know, like, you know, Orphan Red or Patricia or any of these people who set their stall out, they do what they do, you know, and they continue to be attacked on a personal level, right? It's a basic logical fucking fallacy, right? But, you know, as Rory was saying, you know, I have to point out basic logical fallacies. So for me, that's a fucking problem. So what should I do? Just go, oh, fuck it, I'll just run away. Nah, I don't run away. Flat Earth might get big, the globe lie might get big when people start to come to certain understandings. And for me, that's what this whole process is. This is what's happening, you know? Just because it's not happening quick enough for people, they get frustrated. But look at the progress, right? You know, I see progress. You know, I see me pushing my message out there, which then, you know, forces other people to, you know, have a look at what they're doing and reassess what they're up to, and they move on. And I've seen it. I'm seeing it happening. You know, it's the same with me. You know, people offer logical points and proofs, and I see them and I go, brilliant, and it adds to me and I move on. So there is progress happening, right? You know, and I get frustrated because it doesn't all happen instantly. But I have to control that, look at it realistically, and then just start methodically moving through where I see issues and things that I think need addressed. And that's it, right? So, as I said, you know, I'm already at that point, you know, wait for everybody to realise that, you know, logically we need the full exploration, right? Until that happens, what am I supposed to do? Sit back and just let all this fucking nonsense happen and watch it and no take part in it? No chance. You know, I want to be here, keeping pushing, offering that avenue for people. So, you know, as I say, there's all this other stuff that needs work to. I don't need to, you know, sit and argue about globe proofs. It's all done. It's done. You know, there's other aspects now of this, right? As you hear other people saying, oh, it's not just about the flat earth and the shape of the earth. No, it's not just about the shape of the earth. It's about, you know, understanding the mind and how it works, how we work, how our emotions work, how we affect each other, how we are affected by external things, and taking responsibility. So, you know, everything that I do is part of that same thing. But again, you know, I appreciate and understand your concerns, right? But I would prefer it if you came on and had a discussion with me about it, you know, rather than just put it in the comments so that it paints this certain light, because that's exactly what it seems to me. So, and again, you know, I've missed out on so many comments, so I might as well just, you know, while I'm here, go through some of these comments, especially from the live thing from the other night, which, you know, obviously got a bit of attention and caused a stir. Fred Onions. People being in their happy delusion is spot on, mate. Every single time I mention to anyone anything to do with flat earth, the powers that be, etc., that's all I get back is, well, it's beyond my control. We can't change anything, why worry? It frustrates the hell out of me, and I'm not even a believer in flat earth. On the fence. But I do find the idea that we are on a spinning ball zooming through endless space very hard to accept. Yeah, well, just based on that wee end bit, you know, on the fence, you know, people say I'm on the fence, but I can commit and say, you know, based on, you know, factual observations, whatever the place is, it has to be able to hold the water, right? So that is me still sitting on the fence because, you know, well, it's not really, it's the reality of the situation. You know, none of you know what the full dimensions are, and that's just a fucking fact. But what I do know for a fact is that the globe is absolutely fucking ridiculous. And people say, well, how do you know it's no? What's your proof? What's your proof? The proof that the globe is ridiculous is that there is zero proof for it. So, and this, you know, as Fred's putting in this comment, well, it's beyond my control. Again, this is back to that same attitude, like, you know, with Rory. You know, it's beyond our control. We should just ignore things, turn the other cheek to things, and you know, if you keep doing that, then you're going to get predators who are going to prey on that, which is what has happened. You know, through people's ignorance, predators, manipulators have been allowed to thrive and succeed. So, Fred Onions, appreciate that comment. Martha Carr. Martin, wake up to that dirty mouth creep Oakley. Most people know him for that. What is wrong with you? Wake up to him. He is controlling and manipulating you. Well, if Nathan's controlling and manipulating Martin, then, you know, or anybody's manipulating and controlling anybody, the responsibility lies with, you know, Martin or whoever it is that's claiming to be manipulated and controlled, right? The responsibility lies with him. As far as this, he's controlling and manipulating you. You know, Martha Carr, you know, where were you to say these things? You know, let's discuss this. You know, I don't see anybody holding a gun to anybody. Martin's a man; he's free to choose what he wants. It's this talk that people talk as if, you know, they're in a pedestal and they can look at the littles. You know, it's a complex thing. As I say, relationships and social interactions, all these issues have existed since, you know, I was a child. Nothing's any different. Nothing is any different. You know, the subject is a subject, people are people, right? There's a separation. So we have this subject and we have people involved in the subject. The subject requires no personalities. It requires nothing to do with anybody's person or who they are. You know, the subject is the objective thing, you know, but we have people involved. So for me, it's a matter of understanding that. Some of the replies here. Nathan Oakley responded to Martha Carr. Martha Carr, you don't know me, which is fucking absolutely true. Nathan is a face on, you know, a media site. You know, he can project himself in any way he sees fit. For me, it doesn't matter who he is and what he's projecting. You know, it's the content that I'm interested in. You know, and there may be aspects of Nathan's work or anybody else's work that, you know, I don't watch every single thing that everybody's done, so I don't pick up on everything. But again, you know, it's about their content. It's not about who they are. Martha Carr, Nathan Oakley, been watching you months now, and you are what I have said, so I do know your character. Your days are numbered. Well, you know, what can you keep saying about this? You know, for me, this is just, you know, as I seen for Nathan the other night, and I had respect for that, you know, because I had the ability to do that, realise my demons, realise my flaws, you know, things that I still have to work on, you know, accept and acknowledge how I've reacted in things in the past, take my responsibility for that, and then I move on from it. So, and that's what I seen the other night, you know. So, so this is continuing into you know, who done what and who said what, and he said, she said. It just seems to me that, you know, there's certain personalities that people don't like, and that's where their issue is. It's got nothing to do with the subject, absolutely fuck all to do with the subject of what shape is the earth. It's a subject of persons, you know, it's a social science subject, right? Not a natural science subject. Trackmatic. The sky is covered in rotating marks, stars. Using perspective and shrinking of things into the distance, we can use these marks, or more specifically the space between, as they proceed around Polaris or the centre, to calculate the size of the sky. When you believe they are not equidistant and you live on a ball, you are unable to use these marks to calculate the size of the terrarium. Makes the calculations based on the scope and standard in mathematics. But it's something about the stars. You know, I don't know, I'm not going to delve into that subject just now. The only thing I'll say is, you know, we're looking at stars, we're looking through moisture. You don't know if that's exactly where you think they are, right? And nobody can give exacting measurements and repeatable data that says the same thing. You know, you can't prove to me exactly where they are. You can't get them to tell me what they are, what they're made of. You know, none of that stuff. It's just red herring. It's a waste of time as far as I'm concerned. But I appreciate it. I'm going to look into that comment. I want to kind of stay relevant to, you know, the social aspect here. So, Martha Carr again. Martin, you are stupid. You're allowing yourself to be controlled and manipulated by Oakley. Wake up to the creep once and for all. He isn't your mate. Well, this is a thing. Again, you know, Martin's a grown man. Martin can take responsibility for himself. Martin can, you know, interact with whoever Martin likes. You know, if Martha has a concern, why doesn't she have a conversation with Martin? But it's this, you know, plaster it in the comments and things like this. People can take it in a certain way. You know, it's a form of manipulation as far as I'm concerned, because it's not really honest. You know, as Nathan's pointed out, Martha doesn't know Nathan. She's gauging on what she's seeing here, but maybe if Martha looks a bit deeper and understands the depth of the situation, the emotional things that people are going through, the psychological aspects that people have to go through, you know, and as I say, nobody's perfect. There is no gurus here. Nobody has all the answers. You know, people are just trying to work things out as it goes. That's what I'm doing. You know, and as I say, I want to meet things head on. But when I see this, just people spewing their opinions about other personalities, it's really empty. It's really empty, you know. And if people like Martha Carr are real, genuine people, you know, you need to have a look at what you're partaking in here, you know. Because for me, this adds to the division, you know. What do you want to do? You know, pigeonhole Nathan Oakley, demonise him, suppress him and abuse him and put him in jail. I mean, what is your end game here? I would just rather understand who Nathan was. Rather than pigeonholing based on my fucking subjective preconceptions. You know, that's irrational. This is another aspect that, you know, people need to face up to. It's irrational shite. Cathy Dudley. This was a very interesting hangout. You made your point well by seeing Sean and Nathan confront each other and walk away with respect for each other. Thanks, Cathy. That was the whole point. You know, sometimes when you bring people to this to confront it, they realise very quickly that it's really nothing. It's just these paranoid delusions that people have in their mind, you know, or taking things the wrong way and letting it affect them and then harbouring that for however long. You know, you see that every day in your life. Not just here in this arena, it happens every day. You know, you deal with people every single day, the same aspects, the same issues. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, I appreciate it, Cathy. At least you see who I am, what I'm trying to do. You know, I really do appreciate that. Nathan Oakley, thanks for having me on. It was good fun. Cheers, Nathan. It was good fun. Progress as far as I was concerned. And at the same time, people want this drama. They want all this stuff. And but while you're having this drama, you can have resolve. You know, it doesn't have to be perpetual, irrational, meaningless drama. You know? Real drama, confrontation is the real excitement for me, especially when there's progression made from it. So this Martha Carr account's there again. You're a cruel scumbag. So this Martha's got an emotional grievance with Nathan Oakley. So whatever. Mr. Deeds, beyond the imaginary curve, you're definitely onto something when you say the Earth is like some sort of container. I think the biblical Noah's Ark story and the Beatles song We All Live in a Yellow Submarine have a strong connection. I was actually playing with that whole biblical Noah's Ark thing, and I kind of touched on it the other night, you know, saying about all the various animals, you know, the various people, races of people, and how that came to be. And the neo-Darwinian explanation for me is just fucking utter ludicrous, because there is no practical examples of that kind of thing. Obviously we can see, you know, two races and you know, crossbreeding, and you know, you have a different colour of skin or different facial features or whatever. But when you look at like Aborigines and all these types of things, to the white man, you know, there's such a, you know, a huge difference. Bone structure, skin colour, you know, it doesn't make sense to me. So I played with the idea that the Noah's Ark thing was actually, you know, philosophically, you know, hypothetically speaking, you know, what if we're in some sort of situation where, you know, different things for different ponds have been brought here and put together to see what happens. You know, it could be something like that. As far as the container thing is concerned, obviously based on observable, testable reality, you know, water has to be contained. Pressure has to be contained. So, why did Adolf Hitler set off to Antarctica in 1945 after realising he had been defeated? And well, you know, for me, you know, what if they were already working together? And I've said that before. What if these discoveries in places like Antarctica really did only happen, you know, in the 1920s, 30s? Who knows? You know, and there was a flurry of exploration to go and have a look. Whatever they found, you know, whatever they want to guard for themselves, whatever it might be, you know, they created NASA and they came up with this whole fucking elaborate shite to stop people from that exploration, from going and finding out what it was they discovered, you know. And what's with all those strange machinery sounds that we'd heard ripping through the skies worldwide a few years ago? Makes you wonder. For all we know, we could be living in a capsule of many capsules in some sort of craft operated by advanced life forms. You know, we could be. As I say, we could be in a puddle where, you know, other life forms have put other life forms together to see what happens, or for their own ends, whatever their agenda might be. Roger the Cabin Boy, Happy New Year, big man. Thanks, man. Happy New Year to yourself when it comes. All the best. You know, not that really means anything to me. I know it's just a nice gesture, and same gesture back. Joan of Worms, well skippered Dell, thank you again and your guests. A great place where 99% of the time people have behave like human beings. Yeah, and for me that is my format. I don't accept shouting over the top of each other and just mindless fucking name calling and smart ass, antics. Doesn't resolve anything. It just creates, more tension. As we've seen happening the other night, but it was diffused when people took responsibility and stuff. And for me, that was a great aspect to it. As I said it before, that's how wars and battles happen, because people don't take responsibility for their own shortcomings, And I've been guilty of that in the past. I might still be guilty in the future, but I still have the ability to assess, my behaviours, the whole aspect of any interactions that I have, and correct myself and apologise, reach my hand out and say, listen, I overstepped the mark, I take responsibility, and it diffuses all situations, because really people don't want that kind of battle and angst and anxiety. It feels good when you just resolve something with somebody, and then you can move on and there's none of this, harboured negativity. Martin Leakey, thanks Dale, thanks Martin for coming on. And just as I said to Martin the other night, this isn't about us all, loving each other. There's aspects of me that people don't like, there's aspects of me that people do like, there's aspects of Martin that people don't like, and there's aspects that people don't like. As I says to Martin the other night, Martin annoys me because he talks a lot and he butts in, and I'll say, Martin, look, fucking shut up, sit back to me. That doesn't mean to say I'm putting Martin down, or, Martin's beneath me, or I hate Martin, or Martin should change, or Martin's wrong. No, Martin just is who he is and I accept him. But I can still say what I say and he can be in my company without taking offence to it. Same as I don't take offence to people saying, oh, shut the fuck up, you're ranting or raving, or you're, whatever. Especially when it's people you've already had dealings with and you kind of get to know. So there's a difference when people are strangers and they speak to each other in a certain manner. That can cause an issue. But I don't have issues with anybody on any personal level in this whole thing. Stand up. Cheers Dale, great discussion with Ali and John especially, as the ideas and communication flowed early doors. Also good to see Mindfulness and Nathan express their views, although the constant interruptions, derailment of the conversation became tiring and illogical. Cheers all, wishing you a fantastic new year. Yeah, and it was getting like that, as you'll see me saying it, if it's just going to be illogical name calling, then, forget it, just go away. But they did resolve it. There was, maybe you switched off before that, but, and the discussion with Ali and John, was great, as always. And I appreciate Ali, who came on the other night as well. Again, somebody who has respect and manners, that has the ability to discuss and speak and wait for their turn to speak, that works for me. I just get irritated and annoyed when there's this shouting and and I can't be dealing with that. So, John Watson. And stand up, thanks for that comment. That was a good comment. John Watson. Mark Taylor is the biggest scumbag that uses flat earthers' children to trigger them. Yet I see so-called flat earthers laughing and joking with him, going on hangouts he is on. If you hang out with the filth, don't complain if you get attacked, just saying. So, this again is about this pigeonholing people. Just because they behave in a certain way means that they have to be demonised and excluded altogether. Well, how about confronting whoever you have an issue with, with logic and reasoning and rationale, rather than just fucking labelling them and name calling? Again, John Watson, I don't know what it is you're talking about. So, again, the platform's always there. If anybody wants to raise any of these issues, don't be scared. Chris Truthseeker, give that man an Oscar. I don't know who he's talking about. I'm not sure who he's talking about. Chris Truthseeker, I think, is one of the accounts who came on who had something to do with the Tim Osmond character taking over the Hangout. You know, and this Chris Truthseeker never even approached. He obviously knows something about them because I've seen him in their hangouts. You know, so I don't know what this guy's fucking MO is, but he certainly never approached me after any of that shit that happened. So, don't know who he is. Chris, he's talking to Nathan here. You have still not apologised to me for your string of abuse, Nathan. It is only a matter of time before you do it again to another person. People are starting to see you can rescue a live hangout quite well and do seem to have some people fooled. However, you cannot change who you are inherently. You are not a nice person, Nathan. Yet, however, I am. You did. So Chris thinks he's a nice person. Or he thinks, you know, Chris thinks that he's a nice person himself. You did show signs of recognition of this last night, but I am unsure how much of that was to provoke emotions in people to get them on your side. Time will tell, and it usually does. Good luck, be brave, it's only the internet. Yeah, so this Chris Truthseeker obviously feels that Nathan, you know, put an act on the other night, which may well be true, but again, you know, there's so many people's personalities. Remember, a personality, you know, again, I'll go back. People don't know where they are, right? They don't know what life's about. They have nothing about the objective truth of this life. So, you know, any personality, anything that anybody's projecting is a fucking lie. But again, for me, I can't focus on that. This subject's about the shape of the earth. It's an objective truth. So I can only look at their content. You know, what it is they offer in that aspect of it. There is people involved and there's a personal side to it, a personality side to it, which is a social science. It's a separation from natural science. Nathan Oakley, Chris Truthseeker, I'll apologise as soon as you say sorry for being so boring. Here is a free tip, try to vary the tone of your voice when you speak, that way less people will fall asleep. How are you getting on blackmailing Patricia with your string of abusive emails, by the way? Have you exposed her yet? You're such a nice guy. Not sure why anybody would want to tell you to go fuck yourself. It is a mystery. So, you know, again, obviously reading this, there is a social aspect here of personality clashes. Now, I'd like to speak to any of these people who think attacking a personality has got anything to do with the subject. Attack their content, right? So, you know, again, I don't know what's happening with Nathan and Chris Truthseeker here. There is obviously some underlying thing. Nathan's obviously, you know, admitted and is aware of his behaviours and how he, you know, approaches things. And that's up to him. Again, nobody's forced to listen to Nathan, right? But you get these insecure people who want to control everybody else. That's where the issue is. You need to look at it realistically. Mr. Deeds. The truth is that we will never know the truth. You know, what the fuck? The truth is that we will never know the truth. I mean, do I even need to fucking read any further? Well, just pack up and fuck off. You know? Society is like a box where most people have accepted their indoctrination and conditioning in the environment where they have been raised without even knowing, generalising, right? I'm not everybody. You know, nothing would ever change if we just accepted generalisations and just looked at it, oh, it just is, so fuck it. Ooh, let's just go with it. You know, people like me, you know, speak up and want change. That's how change fucking happens. I'm not even going to bother resting and reading the rest of this. Right? I appreciate your comment, but fuck me. You know, the first bit, truth will never be known. The truth is that truth will never be known. So, if the truth will never be known, your statement of the truth is that is false. Because how is it true? You know, and I agree, you know, people are just caught up in their lives, but do I just go, oh, well, fuck it, it's just the way it is? No, I don't accept it and I never will accept it. So I'm going to speak out and take action wherever I can to change it. That's how change happens, when you take action. So, again, Mr. Deeds, if you feel aggrieved with what I've said, then, you know, come on, have your say, let's talk about it, let's understand what, you know, every aspect, everybody's got a voice, everybody has a right to speak, you know, and people who come on that want to say their piece and have a right to speak, don't be scared of confrontation and questioning behind what it is you're actually saying. I mean, that's how you will progress. It's the insecure ones who want to spew this stuff and then no show face and have any dialogue about it. You know, that's where the issue is. Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, great hangout, Deltine and everyone. Thanks, Patricia. Again, I appreciate you showing up. Obviously, there's been a lot of accusations about your personality, who you are in your private life, and they were offered the stage and nothing was forthcoming. So for me, I just put it to bed, and everybody else should put it to bed, you know. And again, even if somebody comes up with some propaganda about a personality like Patricia that, oh, she's born into wealth, or she's got a BMW and a fancy flat, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Right? What's the content? What are they pushing? What are they saying? Validation boy, poor Dale, always a victim, eh? Get the fuck out of here. You talking about, you fucking weirdo? Huh? You absolute fucking weirdigan. Validation boy. You have fuck all to say. Nothing constructive. Absolutely zilch. Right? Another fucking illogical, irrational fucking moron. Muscle car lock roller. I may be wrong, but Vancouver's job is to engineer drama for the reality show. What reality show? A screenshot quickly taken of his busted phone showed the drama between him, Patricia and Antonio was engineered. I must admit, I suspected that at the beginning. And I actually said it. You know, when this Vancouver BC appeared in the scene and you tried to, you know, have discussion with him about his logic, and he just persisted. And I had them, you know, conspiratorial thoughts that Vancouver's there just to cause a drama, to bring attention to Patricia and these other people, because, you know, any publicity is good publicity. That's just the reality, as long as names are being mentioned. So I had that, but again I had to pull back. What if Patricia or any of these people have an agenda? What is their actual agenda? And I can look at that and play with these ideas. But again, you know, the only thing I'm interested in is the subject, which is the globe is a fucking lie. So I'll look at their content for that, and that's what I see in the content. The globe's a lie, right? And I've even seen Patricia, especially in the last couple of months, saying, you know, she doesn't know where she is, you know, saying the actual reality of the situation. How can I be suspicious of the truth? Right? You know, if people have that are involved, maybe behind the scenes, know that there's a push for a new paradigm and that there's roles of popularity and fame and wealth, then of course they might step up to fill that position. That's obviously something that I've got to think about and that I have thought about. But, you know, I don't accept just mindless accusations without any real proof. And again, you know, as I've said before, people have the right to set their stall out, whatever their agenda is, because everybody, you know, people have a right to exist. You know, I don't have a right to say that they don't have a right to exist. You know, as far as I'm concerned right now, everybody has a right to exist. People can set their stall out, be who they want to be, and people can either interact with them, follow them, whatever they like, right? That's up to the individual, that's their responsibility. And again, my whole backlog is about, you know, trying to point out to people, don't follow, you know, critically think about information, understand manipulation. It's all there. Refute it if you like. Right, so I'll continue with this muscle car rock lovers comment. Now this reality show, if it happens, I need to see what this reality show is that you're talking about. We'll put the final nail in the coffin of truthers and free speech. don't see how. You know, again, this is like, you know, even if, you know, something happens in the news or somebody creates a reality TV show, how does that change who I am? You know, it's generalising again. You know, it's fucking nonsense. The truth's never going to be stopped. People like me are never going to stop talking the truth. It doesn't matter what anybody else does, what elaborate stuff they get up to. You know, I'm still going to keep saying the truth. So, whatever. A bill passed over Christmas by Obama is proof they are desperate to shut down free speech. Obama has twice primed everyone by saying we have not got time for a meeting of a Flat Earth Society. He has kind of blown the plan right there. Everyone might end up looking like a fool to the point no one will dare have a different opinion to the one mainstream media gives us. You know, that's, again, this is somebody in their own mind who's envisioning this based on them, that everybody's going to react like this. Every single person's going to react like that. That's fucking nonsense. You know? Doesn't matter what, you know, Obama or any of these fucking people do. It's not going to stop me from fucking opening my mouth unless they actually sew my mouth shut, throw me in a fucking cell, out the road. It's never going to change in there though. They can never get in there and change that. Much like the CIA making up the word conspiracy theorist to stop folk against the JFK official story or CIA infiltrating the anti-war hippie movement in drugs and music. Yep. So if you're referring to, you know, an infiltration or a government part in this, as I've tried to highlight, you know, the manipulation and the infiltration part is the characters who perpetuate mindless drama without any actual logical discussion or reasoning. The ones who promote and push that we should have maps and models, you know, for me that's where the manipulation part of this lies. Struggling artists, actors, etc. Have these people been compromised? Probably. You know, I've said it before. You know, there's sociopathic people out there who will do anything for money and fame and attention. There's probably criminals out there who would rather, you know, fulfill a certain role than go to prison and face the population. You know, none of these things are hard to foresee. It actually happens in life. So, you know, but there's a method for seeing it, and that's what I'm trying to do. So anyway, you know, there's no really any need to keep going on with that. But I'm pretty sure shadow agencies are involved, of course. You know, this is a big fucking secret, a big lie, a big manipulation. There's going to be aspects of this everywhere in it. So Mark Sargent interviews a missile worker, and that missile worker posts on the missile deck, Earth is flat. Did you know as I type this, a Navy sub guy is in prison for posting a selfie from a sub? Matt Powell allowed the channel named NASA channel. Matt Powell allowed the channel named NASA channel throws up red flags as well. Is Earth a spinning globe? No. But why not kill two birds with one stone? The major objective also is to lump alternative Earth-shaped believers in with global warming deniers and make them look like idiots. Yeah. And Muscle Car Rock Lover, if you get back to, you know, all my vlogs, everything that I've done is, you know, go right to the very first ones. You know, when we talk, me and Marty especially were talking about this, you know, and I'll say it clearly again, the question is what shape is the Earth, right? An objective question, a question for natural science. It's got fuck all to do with, you know, any of these other conspiracies. Although a lot of things might be tied together, we need the ability to separate each issue, you know. The Earth-shaped thing, natural science, logic and reasoning, straightforward and fucking simple. All the attachments that people throw into it are distractions. Totally agree. Flat Earth Another Hot Potatoes is responding here to Muscle Car Rock Lover. Muscle Car Rock Lover, didn't you listen to this hangout at all? Mindfulness said he did not hack into Skype. There was no photo or video of me. And okay, sorry about that. I didn't realise I had fucking went on for so long. It cut off there at an hour. I think the movie maker only has a capacity for an hour at a time. So, I'll just finish off. As I say, I didn't realise it went this long. Obviously, I know people have not got an attention span, so the majority of this will go unheard. But I'm going to finish it anyway. So we were at Muscle Car, Rock Lover, and Flat Earth and our Hot Potatoes had responded. Muscle Car, Rock Lover, didn't you listen to this hangout at all? Mindfulness said he did not have hack into Skype. There was no photo or video of me in lingerie talking to Martin, procured by Mindfulness or Flat Earth Vancouver, BC, because that scenario never happened. It was said here on this show, no one hacked Skype, there is no photo of me. Which is true. But at the same time, what, I'm going to look at that and say, well, even if there was a photo of Patricia and Martin, whatever, I mean, what relevance has it? What is it, the point that people are trying to make? That Patricia's manipulating Martin for her ends? Maybe the majority of women I meet manipulate. The majority of people you meet manipulate for their ends. So, again, this is a social aspect, a social science of understanding. Fuck all to do with natural science and understanding the shape of the earth that we're upon. But of course, all this stuff that's went on, and as I say, the people were offered, bring your proofs, make your point, show us why it's valid. What is this information giving everybody? What resolve are people going to get from it? What understanding are they going to get from it? It was there. All these characters were in the chat, they never came on. Flat Earth and our Hot Potatoes and all these other characters were mentioned showed up. They're there, saying, well, show me what you're talking about me for. Why, making these accusations? Let's see it. And there was nothing. So that tells me a hell of a lot. No need to take my word or Martin's word for it. The person who was accused of doing it said he didn't. This was all fabricated drama that was cleared up and put to bed during this show. Dale did this show to discuss how this mindless drama is a distraction, and here you are saying the hacked Skype of Martin and photo of Pat. I appreciate, Patricia realising why I do what I do, why I done what I done on that show. Hangout calling it shows, it's like entertainment purposes. And in a way it is, as I said before, and I've said it from the beginning, people want entertainment, they like a bit of drama. It's what's being used to manipulate them. It's the tools that are being used to manipulate them. So why not employ the same tools? There's a difference when you're manipulating people for your own personal agenda and keeping them in suppression, and like people like me who might use these tactics in order to bring people to awareness or a new understanding. Because my agenda is to empower people. My agenda is to be surrounded by critical thinking individuals. That's my agenda. So, fabricated, What photo? Who has it? You? Maybe in your mind. And what reality show? This is Flat Earth and our Potatoes. Patricia asking what reality show? Because this is what I'm asking. What reality show? There's never been a reality show. Various producers have wanted to make a documentary over the last year, but it hasn't happened and may never happen. More rumours spun out of control. I think as this spreads and the bigger attention that it starts to get, there will be people wanting to make movies and interviews and stuff. I can see it happening. Who cares? It'll always be about the content. It's people like you who stir the pot and keep drama simmering. We might as well start a rumour that we have hacked Skype conversations with video of you nude, wearing a pair of Mickey Mouse ears and a very tiny sock. Exactly. What the fuck does it matter? Look at the amount of people look at the child abuse, the wars, the suffering, the murders, all at the hands of this, blinding people from where they are, taking away their foundation. You know, there's all these aspects happening. As I say, the social science, people being people, you know, it's such a complex and vast subject, you know, but again, it brings absolutely nothing in way of progression to this subject that I'm involved in, which is what shape is the earth. So, Nathan's commented under that. Flat earth and other hot potatoes. Well said, Patricia. I hope people like this rock lover character start to realise that it is they who generate the drama in their own minds. It only takes one or two bullshit stories and the idiots take it all at face value with zero proof. Yeah, as we've witnessed from people before, like the Globe, you know. Oh, it's a globe, and you know, authority tells you so, and you keep repeating the bullshit. Eventually, people believe it. Has nothing to do with truth. So it's a totally valid point that Nathan's making here. Amazing that people like Rocklover would ever mention the word truth, as they regurgitate unproven garbage in the face of actual facts. Yeah, and that's the difference. You know, look at the contents. You know, ask these people for their actual proofs. And if it's a proof about a personality, then you need to ask them, what relevance does it have? Muscle Car Rocklover read what Miss Steer said in her above comment. Digest the stupidity of what you have said here and realise why people like me, although we rarely comment on this fact, see you as complete and total idiot. Like all of us, you used to believe that you were on a globe because of what somebody you saw as an authority figure told you. It seems old habits die hard with some people. Exactly. This is the whole point. You know, these characteristics and these types of behaviours have been here. You know, nothing to do with flat earth or globe earth. You know, that's just what's happening with people. And then we've got Muscle Car Rock Lover. Nathan, so is Antonio also lying when he said about the reality show? Well, more than likely, yes, he is, and you are all still in constant communications with each other and best of friends, working colleagues. Remember, even you say bad press is good press, which it is. Folk have to start ignoring you lot because that's the one thing your game rules don't account for. No views and silence. You know, well, Muscle Car Rock Lover, if Nathan or Patricia are pushing, you know, illogical, unproven things, focus on their content. You know, that way you can show people, because remember what the subject's about. It's not the social dynamics of people. It's what shapes the fucking earth. So I'm not going to continue with that. The last one was I knew as it was, you know, and we've went here. So the last comment there, John Watson, excellent discussion. Thanks, appreciate it, John. It was a good discussion. It always is a good discussion. As I say, you know, I had to. Sometimes you just need to pull these things to the light and have a look at them. Ignoring them doesn't help. You know, the social aspects are a part of it. You know, but again, it's separate from the objective question, right? Which shapes the earth. Right? It's got nothing to do with people's personality, and that's where the psyop is. This continual focus on personality with no substance to it, right? The focus on models and maps, unnecessary waste of fucking time, right? It's focus on the claim, the globe, ridicule it, rubbish it. You know, and I seen Sasha Red, Orphan Red, you know, putting the video up about that, and that's great. And again, she was another one who was who was there in the chat the other night and received nothing but idiotic abuse and left because of that. And you can't blame people for that. You know, but you know, it's up to real truthers, real people who want, you know, all these things to put these fuckers in their place and to address it at every point. You know, and again, I'm open for any discussion for the next live show, probably the weekend. Anybody who wants their say, you know, I think we've made that obvious now. You know, it's not a place where you're going to come and it's going to be some sort of bias and people siding with each other. I don't moderate things like that. You know, I'm interested in provable facts and understanding what's happening. I'm not on anybody's side other than truth and understanding. That's it. That's the side I stand on. So, you know, I appreciate it if you manage to get through this whole hour and whatever of me talking about this, then I appreciate it. And as I say, hopefully, you know, the next live show, a lot of these people who appear in the comments will make an appearance. As I say, you don't have to show your face on the camera or tell your real name. You know, just let your voice be heard. You know, air your concerns and how you see things. And then we can get a gauge for, you know, how people are, where they are. And we can maybe work through it. So, appreciate the time. Peace.